Welcome into another episode of Tailgate Talk SEC. I am Will Thomas, and today I want to go through what I think could be one of the best defenses, not only in the SEC, maybe in the entire country, and that is the Texas Longhorns. Now, before we get into it, I just want to say I appreciate everybody who has already been subscribing to me, engaging with all my stuff through this entire offseason. I've been doing college football and SEC content every single day, and I'll keep doing it every single day until we kick off in August, where it'll just ramp up from there. So if you have been enjoying the content, or if you're new around here, please subscribe and go follow me on Twitter. I appreciate everybody so much. But just diving now into the Texas Longhorns defense. Now, for years, right? I mean, really, since they came to the SEC, since Sark has been there, the mantra "Texas is back" it's been sarcastic, right? It's been a bit because Texas, they've made the playoff, they made a run to the semifinals, but they haven't done it yet, right? They haven't climbed that mountaintop. This year, I'm saying it again, right? This is the year that I'm kind of bought in on the Longhorns, and in large part, it's because of how many superstars are on this defense, but not just on the field, right? We'll get to the players in a second. Off the field, they bring in Will Muschamp to be the defensive coordinator. And they also brought over Mark Stoops to kind of just hang out, right? Like he's just an assistant to Muschamp in that defensive staff room. Those two guys are going to bring a degree of toughness, of grittiness, chip on your shoulder that they just haven't quite had in Texas for a bit, right? At least not on defense. So the mentality issue, I believe, has been a massive part of why the Longhorns haven't quite scaled that mountain yet in recent history. Bringing in Muschamp and Stoops on the defensive side of the ball, I think goes a long way in helping that out, right? Because when teams win big, when they win championships, when they win their conference, when they make runs, you see all these coordinators and assistants and position coaches move on. And that's not by accident. That's by design. It's because of how important all those guys are to championship caliber teams. So I think that, sure, Muschamp, Stoops, you might just hear those two names and be like, well, they weren't great head coaches. They've been just fine in certain spots as coordinators. Who really cares? You're going to care a lot when your team is trying to score points on this Texas defense this year. So the staffing, I think, is really good. I think Sark did an incredible job of it. Let's go to who's on the field, right? And we're just going to go from front to back of this defense, starting off on the defensive line. I mean, the superstar is Colin Simmons. Right, he's back for his junior season. He had 12 sacks last season, 15 and a half TFLs. He's a freak of an athlete. He was a five-star kid, 6'3", 245. He was one of Texas's representatives at SEC Media Days. That tells you what you need to know, right? Just coming into his third year, he's an absolute freak, former five-star. Everyone knows who he is. Then inside, at D-tackle, on the interior of the defensive line, they bring in Ian Jeff-Rard from Arkansas, who is 6'5", 378 as a senior. He had 4 TFLs last year, starting all 12 games for the Hogs. And also Hero Kanu is more of a homegrown guy, right? He's a name that Texas fans have known for a few years. He's entering his senior year, also 6'5", weighing in at 321 pounds. The buzz around Austin is that this is a Hero Kanu year, that he's really ready to take that jump. He had 4 TFLs and 2 sacks last year. Now, as a part of this elite defensive front, all around him, I think that Kanu can really make a big jump this year. Let's move back to the back level of this front seven. This linebacker room is stupid. They have the two headliners of this linebacker room are absurd. First off, the returner in Ty Anthony Smith. He's back for his junior year, standing at 6'1", 205. He only had one start last year, but played in all 12. Ty Anthony was behind guys like Anthony Hill last year. He wasn't quite the starter, but still, in those 12 games, he had 60 tackles, 5.5 TFLs, 2 sacks, knocked the ball out twice, picked the ball off 2 more times. And you're complimenting him now with Rasheem Biles, who comes over from Pitt. He was, I believe, the top linebacker in the portal. If not, he was just one of them. He's 6'1", 220 as a senior. This guy's just a playmaker, right? He only played in 10 games last year because of some injuries, but he started all 10 of those, over 100 tackles, 17 TFLs, 4.5 sacks. He broke up 6 passes, picked off 2 of them, and knocked the ball loose 2 more times. So those 2 guys are ball-hawking playmakers, right? And it is Smith's first year as a consistent starting linebacker. So we'll see how he adapts to that role, but I think having Rasheem next to him is going to do wonders for that. Then behind those guys, Brad Spence is back for his senior year. You have Justin Cryer, another senior coming over from Florida State. So you have 2 seniors who are backfilling the spots behind those 2 superstars. And then you have Tyler Atkinson in that room as well, who is a 5-star freshman out of Georgia. And now back to this secondary. I don't like to use the term weakness for like anywhere on this Texas roster just because of how talented it is and how deep it is, but this is probably the weakest part of this defense, even though it's still incredibly strong. At corner, they bring over Bo Masco from Rutgers. If you don't know that name, you're about to. He was all Big Ten honorable mention last year, started in all 12 games. He's 5'11", 190, has very good length, very experienced guy. He'll be one of the top corners in that room coming in as a transfer. Then Cade Phillips, he's back for his sophomore year. He only got 3 starts last season as a true freshman, but he's a former 5-star. We know what kind of talent he has. You have Grayson Littleton in that room, Kobe Black, guys like Wardell Mack, who was also a former 5-star. He's now back for his sophomore season. And then it came out also on Thursday that 5-star corner John Meredith III, who is in the class of 2027, he's reclassifying up, and he's just going to enroll in Austin this year. Now, even though he's now reclassifying up, he's already turned 18, so it's not like he's this, really small kid who's not ready for the spotlight. He was the number 2 overall player in the class of 2027. Now you're getting him on campus this fall. He's going to help complement that cornerback room just with his pure raw talent. Now, how much will he play early on? We'll see when he's officially ready, but that's a massive add. Then at safety, you bring back Xavier Filsaime, former blue chip guy. He's back for his junior year. Jelani McDonald is back for his senior season after an 80 tackle, 3 interception year last fall. Derek Williams is in there. Jonathan Cunningham is in there. This Texas defense has first-team All-SEC candidates at every single position, sometimes 2. And just the biggest part for me that gets me so excited about this defense, because, yeah, they had a ton of talent last year, and there were games where maybe they left them to be desired. Will Muschamp and Mark Stoops being added to that staff is so, so valuable to me, if for nothing else, because of the toughness that they're going to bring. Right, this Kentucky defense that Stoops was the head coach of last year held Texas to, I think it was 13 points last year. It's good. Mark Stoops is very good at what he does with defenses at the college level, and so is Will Muschamp. He's made a living off of being a great defensive mind. Both those guys working together to optimize this defense to wreak as much havoc as possible, take the ball away as much as possible, and make life as easy as possible for Arch Manning and that star-studded offense. I really do believe this could be one of the best defenses, if not the best defense, in the SEC and among the best in the country.